They're going to be fine.
I just got some like, what am I doing? What am I watching? Where are we in society? Like, how is this happening again? And like I said off the top, it's not cool or funny. Last year it was exciting.
It's a little funny.
The other big story in hockey is that the Oilers are doing it again. They are doing it again. They are 0-3-0 to start the season. They have lost in blowout fashion, 6-0 to the Winnipeg Jets. They've lost by a combined 6 goals since to the Chicago Blackhawks and the Calgary Flames. I will inform all of you, color this with the fact that all of these have been home games. They have started with an easy 3-game homestand, not against particularly great teams. One of these teams was in the playoffs last year, and famously they were put on pumpkin watch and fraud watch because of how much they were proven to be pumpkins and frauds, were the Jets last year. And now the Oilers, after the mess that began last season, and wasn't it so fun? It was a roller coaster. It was funny. We knew they'd end up figuring it out, but how much would they figure it out? They're doing the exact same thing, and I love your thoughts on all of this, but just because you could probably tell from my body language, I don't think it's cool or entertaining that they're doing the same thing again. It's very Hangover series coded.
It's very like you're better than this. Like even as the Oilers, they had that shit last year. They came together as a group. I wouldn't be surprised if you told me that the Oilers lost like 12 straight to start the season. I would have been surprised if you told me that they won 12 straight. I think winning 12 straight would definitely be cooler and more encouraging for that group. It's not just that they've lost 3 straight. It's that they've lost 3 straight and looked fucking horrible.
They have a minus 12 goal differential.
15-3
is what's that?
They're being
15-3.
15-3 in 3 games. That's horrible.
They have a minus 12 goal differential, which is the worst in the NHL. And I know it's the worst in the NHL because the second worst goal differential in the NHL is minus 6. And the third worst goal differential in the NHL is minus 5. So the teams that are looking themselves in the mirror and saying, oh, God, we got to figure it out, are only half as bad as the Oilers have been. 3 goals, as you mentioned. I could tell you off the top of my head who they've come from. The first one was from Corey Perry. They got one from Leon Draisaitl. And then, shout out me, I did place $20 on Jeff Skinner first goal last night. Was super excited when he scored it. That's it for the goals. And they've had a million called back.
Yes.
They've had a bunch overturned. 2 for goaltender.
Like 4 times last night, too.
Yes, and on Saturday against the Blackhawks. But 2 overturned for goaltender interference, 1 called back for Victor Arvidsson being offside. But it's too early in the season. 3 games in, to be freaking out and thinking that they suck, which I don't think they suck. They just have really sucked so far. But it's too early in the season for me to say it's okay. They've had a bunch of goals called back. Score more goals. You have the best goal scorers in the world. Connor McDavid has 0 goals through 3 games. Zach Hyman has 0 goals through 3 games. Bouchard has 0 goals through 3 games. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, 0 through 3 games. And honestly, their best offensive player so far might be Corey Perry. And I despise that for my guys. It makes me feel terrible. I sent you guys a text over what I'm going to do if Corey Perry proves to be their best offensive player. I'm not going to say it on here.
You didn't say you were going to do it. You said you get to do it.
I said I get to do it.
Yeah. That's a important distinction.
I'm not going to do it, though, because they're going to turn it around. There was a Rasmus Anderson goal last night that was very exciting and very lovely. I don't think I've ever called out like Connor McDavid and Zach Hyman before, but that goal was so bad. And if you didn't see it, it's just Anderson, who's a defenseman, just skating around.
He did whatever he wanted to do.
Skating around the Oilers' offensive zone and just kind of getting like some of these from the guys.
I think it was Zach Hyman who tried to throw a flying elbow.
Hyman one was just like that. And I was annoyed in the Utah game last week when Mikhail Sergachev was like, oh, hey, it's Connor Bedard. Get back here. Like that kind of thing. McDavid did
may
that.
As well have had like those airport runway fucking light up things.
Those things, that goal last night for Anderson, and then I had to deal with seeing on social media, like what a sick goal and everything. It was a sick goal that was enabled by such passive play. And that goal was so bad. That was such a bad defensive shift from the Oilers that it gave me peace of mind because I was like, oh, they're just not even close.
Yeah.
They're just like not doing, like they're not trying.
And we've seen this before.
I want them to be trying, but it would be one thing if they're trying their hardest and Connor's yelling, dig in, and Zach Hyman is really just giving it his all, the go-getter that he is. I was like, they're just not doing it. I would love for them to be doing it, but they're just not doing it.
I'm just like a little bit concerned that they have this ability to revert to this mindset that they had in the pre-Knobloch era where they're like, defense doesn't mind. We can just go out there and play as loosely as we want to and get away with this shit. And it proved last year and many years before that doesn't work. And somehow they're back there to square one. Hey, thanks for watching the channel.
We appreciate everybody who checks out our stuff, but 80% of our viewers are not actually subscribed to this page. So if you could smash that subscribe button, it would go a very long way for us.
The more subscriptions we have, the more visibility we get from YouTube, which allows us to do more.
So press that button. Thank you. The Oilers are just not okay right now. And I can add Victor Arvidsson to the list with Evan Bouchard and Connor McDavid and all these guys who have not scored. Upsetting stuff, upsetting start so far. We know that in the end, they have the best offensive players.
They're going to be fine.
They have a goalie who, while he can be had, is good. And Calvin Pickard was fine also on Saturday night. But I was like,
they're going to be fine.
I just got some like, what am I doing? What am I watching? Where are we in society? Like, how is this happening again? And like I said off the top, it's not cool or funny. Last year it was exciting.
It's a little funny.
It's
definitely not cool. It's a little funny.
It's so lame. I don't think it's funny.
It's a little funny because I think we have come back to the place where like prior to like how that season went, I don't think anyone was like really like, let's go Oilers. Like obviously I think people wanted the McDavid to get a ring and stuff, but I don't think people generally like the Oilers.
To bring it back to the Sabres a little bit, like it's a little funny because I think we all know that the Oilers are going to be okay.
Yeah.
When it started happening to the Sabres again to start the season, we were all like, this isn't cool or funny because this just keeps happening to them.
We don't deserve this.
And there's nothing to suggest that they're going to figure it out.
I will say, I thought it was very cool. I don't know if you remember in like the first 6 minutes of the season opener against the Jets, they gave up a breakaway. And I love the idea because although PK Subban missed this in his analysis of the Oilers as their streak went on last year, the Oilers just became an outstanding defensive team.
Correct.
And like they didn't fuck around and they didn't trade chances. I thought it was very funny because I didn't know it was coming, but I thought it was very funny that they gave a breakaway as soon as the season started, that the Oilers were like, fuck you, Knobloch. We tried it your way. We didn't win a cup. We're going back to the old us.
Maybe that's exactly what's happening right now. It seems like it might. I do want to mention the Connor thing.
Oh, yes.
As pointed out by a Reddit poster, which I thought was incredible. Connor McDavid has now lost a game to 3 Connors in a row to start the season. And every Connor that he has played against has scored a goal, and Connor McDavid has yet to score a goal. You got the Kyle Connor against Winnipeg Jets. You've got Connor Bedard against Chicago Blackhawks, and Connor Zary against the Calgary Flames last night. So
Connor has scored in every Oilers game this season, and none of them have been Connor McDavid.
Connor watch, Connor rankings. McDavid might be the worst.
We wanted to...
Connor Hellebuck, by the way, also 976 save percentage to start the season.
Yes. Pumpkin watch. I don't trust it.
I definitely don't trust it, but
I love teams like I like that we're just turning individual players into the Toronto Maple Leafs, where like no matter what they do, like they do something super cool. Austin Matthews scores a bajillion goals, and you're just like, guess we'll have to see. And it's like he's scoring a bajillion goals. He's awesome. Guess we'll have to see. He's probably going to get yelled at in the postseason. By the way, not enough attention was paid to in the aftermath of the Amazon docuseries. I must have missed it, but not a big enough deal was made of the fact that series seemingly showed that William Nylander was yelling at Austin Matthews.
Yeah, I mean they didn't like really identify or closely identify a target.
Right. But context seems
it was certainly edited in a way if it was not, I mean, I don't want to suggest that it was edited in a way. The way it appeared on the thing certainly made it look like he was yelling specifically at Austin Matthews. I agree.
Because no offense, we love you, Mitch Marner. Like,
It was
what's the use?
It was definitely Mitch Marner.
What?
It was definitely Mitch Marner.
But you
think?
Yeah, because Mitch Marner was the one who like threw his gloves right after the fact.
Oh no! I'm saying like,
but what's the
why
point
even
of yelling
yell
at
Mitch?
Yeah.
But why be like, have better attitude out there? Just like. Anyway, we love the Toronto Maple Leafs.
No, we don't.
Who do you think they miss the most right now? The Oilers? Because they did really was add, except until the offer sheet thing went down. Maybe I'm kind of tipping my hand as to what my take is going to be here.
I mean, the answer is Connor McDavid.
Oh, yeah, no, like of guys on there. I mean, of the shuffling that they did. Famously, they lost Cody Ceci. It's a big one. They lost Philip Broberg. They lost Dylan Holloway.
Yeah, but it's still
Evander Kane, kind of.
It's Holloway.
They missed Dylan Holloway. What's that?
No, I was just adding Evander Kane to the list.
Oh, yeah, Evander Kane. They missed Dylan Holloway. They're not that you should need your third line to be awesome. Because if you're the Oilers, be like, we have the best top six like in years. We're fine. But now that you're looking for scoring and you've got a slow ass third line, they're already mixing and matching. By the way, like they're not doing the this is fine, whatever. Hey, it happens every year. We'll be okay. They really seem to be like, we gotta fucking knock this off. But then they go out there and they're just fucking playing patty cake with each other, which patty cake is a fun game. As I say it, I don't think I know how to play that game, but
do have to give some credit to the Calgary Flames too, because they played a really good game in the Battle of Alberta.
Love it for Tate McRae's guys. Love it for Tate McRae's guys. But if you're the Oilers right now, you are frustrated. You are wondering what is going on. Are they really doing this again? This week, they are home against the Flyers. Their whole schedule is the NHL wants them to win the cup, wants them to win the President's Trophy. They're home against the Flyers, then they're at Nashville and at Dallas. I would advise them to win games.
I was going to say, I'd advise them to beat the Flyers. Otherwise, you're staring 0-6 to start the season right in the face.
As pointed out by that Reddit poster, the Flyers don't have a player named Connor. Could be a good sign for the Oilers.
Yes. Also, I did leave out, thank you to the chat, I left out Ryan McLeod, who honestly
He's fast.
Is fast and got a penalty shot in the game against the Kings. And Darcy
didn't really attempt it.
Darcy Kemper, I think I texted you guys during it. I was like, Darcy Kemper was like on his phone during that shootout attempt.
I'll say,
he was just like, wait till I sense that somebody's close, and I'm just gonna put my glove on the ice and I'll be fine.
We have precedent to show that being fast during the penalty shot doesn't make a difference, because Evgeny Kuznetsov famously goes as slow as possible. And scores every time.
Brad Marchand famously too fast.
I would argue that speed does nothing to help you in a penalty shot.
Nothing, absolutely nothing. Although,
but it's fun.
It can be fun when a guy's like, I'm gonna go really fast during this as a way to try to fuck with the goalie. But when it doesn't work, it's really embarrassing.
Yeah. We all silly like the mayor.